Today, I am going to try to save these bar stool chairs by reupholstering them. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda here. I have a couple of bar stool chairs. They were actually given to me many years ago, and over the years, they have gotten a little bit tattered. Now, it might not be the easiest thing to see here, but you can see that the vinyl up here is getting worn away, just jumping on and off of them. I don't really have any big cracks or tears or anything like that, but on both of these, they are looking a little haggard all the way around. You know, just comes with age. Now, I thought, well, how much are stools? They can't be that expensive. But I went to the store and these were like $350 a piece. And that means that, I am not replacing them. I am going to try to salvage them. Now, this could be very, very bad because I have never done anything like this before, and I could easily spend some money here trying to refurbish them and absolutely destroy them and end up having to buy something anyway. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But what I did here was ordered a couple things. Now, because the material on there is a vinyl, and I think the vinyl holds up pretty well, I actually ordered this. This is a PU leather. I think they call it coffee. It's a little bit lighter than the color that I have there. And that's intentional. It's not very thick, but it does have an adhesive backing. Now, I will say that this material has some creases in it. I probably could steam it or heat it up. I'm not overly worried about that right now. But it's only about 19 inches wide and I think 54 inches long. So it's actually a pretty long piece of material. I was worried about it not being wide enough, but as you might be able to see here, I think that is going to be perfectly wide enough to cover it up, and I'll have quite a bit of material left over. I also bought this Mr. Penn staple gun right here. This is kind of just a cheap little plastic staple gun. Does come with staples because that is how I am going to attach it underneath. Could you just wrap it and use the adhesive to stick it? Probably, but that's not going to be enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and staple it underneath. Now, to start on this, I'm going to actually have to remove the pad here, and I think it just has little Phillips screws holding it in. So I'm going to take them off of this bracket right here, and you can see where the current vinyl stretches around the edge. It's kind of glued on there as well. Again, I'm going to leave all of that, but hopefully I can get this panel off because we have like this kind of composite board base underneath, but I really need this thing off to give it a nice clean edge. So let's see if we can take it apart and fix it. Looks like that is pretty promising. Looks like it comes off here. Sweet. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of wipe the top down just to make sure that it's as sticky as possible. And then we will start wrapping the new PU synthetic fake leather around it. Now that I've got this cushion in decent light, you can actually see how bad it was on the top. That was actually not even the part I was really looking at. You can just see how bad it is along here on the front. It just looks bad. And the problem with it is as this stuff comes up, you tend to find it in the back of your pants, you know, in the back of your jeans and your khakis and things like that. So obviously there's some cuts where you slide on and off of it, but yeah, that's just in rough shape. So I've gone ahead and used just some countertop cleaner to clean it up a little bit here. And now I just want to see what we can do here to make sure that there's enough material to wrap it. It looks like if I put it this way, I've got material that goes all the way to the edge. I'm a little worried just because this is a pretty long edge here, and I'm trying to figure out if it's better to have more to go over the front and kind of wrap all the way around or on the side. And what I've decided here is that I'm going to use it kind of the long way here. So I'm going to have plenty of material to wrap over each of the edges here, and then I'm going to basically kind of cheat the coverage on the back. I will just go around the back, but because there is backing on the chair, I don't think that this area will be as abused as much. So I will have just as much material kind of going around the back as I need, but no more. And then I really want to make sure that I get enough material to go around the front here. So I'm going to rob the back of any material that I need for the front, and then I will probably cut it about here, and that should give me enough material to do the other seat cushion as well. I have removed the backing on the PU synthetic vinyl here, and you can see, get the little weave, but this is all sticky right on there. And now I'm just going to lay this down on top, and like I said, I want to make sure that I get the front edge totally covered here. So we'll try to start on the edge, front edge, and work my way back. Well, I have a newfound appreciation for upholsterers after wrestling this stuff in place, and it is kind of wrestling. You're trying to get things to fit curves when they are manufactured flat. Probably heat and steam are probably going to help those things, but I just kind of pulled things. Got lots of creases everywhere. As you can see, I cheated the back out of its appropriate amount of PU to get it around the front. That still didn't leave me a ton of working area here. I may kind of change up my strategy in the future, but as you can see here, this is where I think it may work. But you can see that this was not done by a master upholsterer. This was done by a Muppet with a staple gun, this guy. And when I got on it and set my bum on it, couldn't really feel the seam. So I think it'll work for now. Is this a do-it-yourself job? I think it is. If you have more patience and some good hand strength, I think you can wrestle this into shape. I will say it actually is probably easier without the adhesive backing to kind of get it to fit, because once it starts sticking, it's actually hard to maneuver it around. And I bet a little steam or heat or something like that would help stretch this out so that you can get a nice fit. I actually like the color and the material. It's got a little pebbling there. It looks pretty good. This one is my second attempt, and I will tell you, it fared no better. So we are going to be reviewing these cheap bar stools by Vasagle pretty soon. Yeah. And yeah, has nothing to do with me screwing up the current bar stools. Or does it? Anyway, if you want to pick up this material because you think you could do a better job and salvage something with this PU adhesive leather, then I will put the link in the description below so that you can pick it up. But otherwise, stay tuned for a review on these. Hopefully, they will look better than this. Peter Von Panda, out.
We can discover more and explore so much deeper. We can live better than ever thanks to Peter.